All right, so here we are with Bryson Haney. Bryson, one of the things that fascinates me about you is that you have been able to develop kind of a side hustle where you built a golf simulator, and now that golf simulator is making you consistent revenue every single month. Is that right?
That's correct.
Perfect. So give me just the quick condensed version. How much did it cost you to build your golf simulator, and how much does it make you every single month?
So I was lucky. I already had a spot for it in a shed. So it cost me about $12,000 and it makes me about $500 every month.
Okay, so with that math, you'll probably be paying off the shed in a few years.
Just a couple years and it'll make back the cost.
Amazing. How hard is this to do? How many hours a week would you say that you're managing this?
Yeah, that's what's crazy is I have it down. So I have a copy and paste message that I send everybody. So as soon as somebody requests to book, I can send them a copy paste text message. And then I use my sim, about once a week. So when I'm in there, I clean up a little bit, empty the trash, make sure everything is still working. I mean, I make $500 a month and I work on it maybe an hour a week.
What inspired you to build your golf simulator in the first place?
I wanted a place that I could play, right? In the winters, it's nice to just be able to have a spot that you can go swing the clubs and play some courses. So I wanted my sim for that. And then I knew that I could rent it out. And so it was a no-brainer.
Was there like a certain moment when you started to think like, man, this thing can actually start to pay for itself?
Yeah, so after I listed it on ParSims and, had, the first 5, 6, 10 hours booked, thought to myself, oh man, like that's actually pretty simple. And if I put a little effort into this, I could probably get, 30, 40 hours a month and just let it pay for itself.
Okay, so you said you listed it on ParSims. What is ParSims?
Yeah, so ParSims is the platform that I use to rent out my simulator. So basically, I created an account, I created a listing for my simulator, and then ParSims handles all of the transactions. So they handle the booking process, all the payment processing, and then after the booking is complete, then I get paid from ParSims.
And did you have any hesitations when listing it? Because I'm sure that there are the thoughts of like, what if someone trashes this? Do I really want to allow strangers to be using my sim?
Yeah, it's always this is my spot, right? It's my simulator, paid for it. And there was always maybe a little bit of you see those videos on social media, idiots crashing golf courses into the lake. But honestly, I haven't had any issues. The people that are using my sim have all been really respectful. They clean up after themselves. It's really just regular dudes that just want to play golf, right? And then on top of that, ParSims actually has a host protection guarantee that covers, up to $10,000 for my equipment and $50,000 in liability. So I felt like it was worth taking a shot.
Wow. And remind me again how much you said it cost to build?
$12,000 to build it.
Okay. And how much has it made to you so far?
I have made about $8,000.
Wow. So it's more than half paid off.
Yeah, more than half paid off.
So this is a passion that you have that is paying for itself, but you can still use the simulator anytime you want.
Yeah, so anytime I want to play, I can easily just go into my account and modify my listing, put an exception. I'm using it from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's unavailable and takes me about 30 seconds and I block off time for me to use it.
And you say it makes about $500 a month. Are there months that are slower or busier than others?
Yeah, definitely. So, obviously peak outdoor season, things definitely slow down a little bit, but during peak season, it's crazy busy. So when I say about $500 a month, that's kind of like an average over the 12 months.
And is there anything about this process that kind of surprised you, like with the finances or how often people are renting it out?
Definitely. So it's when you very first list, there's not a whole lot of people that know you're there. So, as more people start to find you and, I made a Facebook marketplace listing and I started advertising just a little bit, more and more people started to come, which was, surprising, I think a little bit. And then on top of that, how easy it is, right? Just being able to, I get a text message whenever somebody books. I can literally say yes or no. So if I'm out doing something or, I got to make something happen, I can just say no and send them a message. And so, yeah, so I get a text message, I say yes or no, I send a copy paste message and that's it. It really takes me, 30 seconds to accept the booking request.
And you said that you were a little bit worried about how people would treat your simulator. Has anyone caused any crazy damages to it?
No. Yeah, so I mean, I've had, like I said, I made, $8,000, and there's been no significant damage. There's an occasional, skied ball or whatever, maybe a dent in some drywall, but I mean, honestly, I might have done that. I
I
don't
mean,
even
that's
know
that's
for
pretty
sure.
it's pretty common wear and tear with a golf
Correct.
simulator. Like if
Yeah.
if you're building a golf sim, you can kind of expect that there's going to be
Definitely.
some basic wear and tear that happens
Absolutely.
with the impact screen, with the walls, maybe the ceiling.
For sure.
So what kind of safeguards do you have? Do you have insurance? Is that something ParSims takes care of?
Yeah, so ParSims covers up to $50,000 in liability and then up to $10,000 in equipment damage. So if somebody were to damage my projector or my launch monitor, my screen, I could actually go and talk to ParSims about that, and they would cover it up to $10,000. The biggest thing is you actually have to have a camera in order for ParSims to cover that. So I have a camera just in my shed that records all of my bookings, and yeah, so if there's any issues, I can submit it to ParSims and they'll take care of it.
Yeah. So I know that with the Airbnb that we had, cleaning was kind of a nightmare, especially if we got some pretty rowdy guests. How much do you have to clean your sim after people come and use it?
That's what's crazy. I allow food and drink in my sim. Not everybody does, but like I legit, like I said, I play once a week and I empty the trash can and I just pick up, maybe run the vacuum, but like it's not bad at all. Like there's not really a lot that people can do to make it dirty, I guess. And so as far as like cleaning and maintenance goes, like it's just not hard.
And when people book the simulator, do they just text you or is that all done through ParSims?
No, it's all done through ParSims.
Wow. And
So
is that pretty like easy for you? Like how much does ParSims take care of versus what you have to do by yourself?
yeah, no, ParSims does a lot. So like their marketing, they're getting eyeballs to their website, and I know that I will get a text anytime that there's a booking, right? So if I have my phone on me, I'll also get an email as well. So I I don't really worry about it until I get a text saying, "Hey, I have a booking," and then I go in and take care of it.
So what do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about hosting golf simulator on something like ParSims?
I think honestly the biggest misconception is strangers, right? Like I always see people that are like, "Oh, strangers in your house, they're going to jack your stuff, they're going to mess everything up, they're going to rob you blind and break all your stuff." It's really not. Like these aren't just complete psychopaths you're letting into your house. It's just other golf addicts, right? Like it's other dudes that just want to golf more, and they're really respectful. They understand that it's actually not their space, it's somebody else's. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I've made over $8,000. That's a decent number of hours booked, and I haven't had any issues with the strangers coming over to my house.
Okay, so walk me through a typical booking. If someone wants to rent your simulator, what do they do? What do you do? What's that process like?
Yeah, so if somebody wants to book my simulator, they got to go to parsims.com, create an account, and then they have to find my listing. You can just look on the map and see whatever's closest to you. When you find one close that you like, you click on it and then you request to book. So as soon as somebody requests to book, I get a text and an email notifying me that somebody has requested, and then I get on my account, I hit accept or reject, and then I just send them my copy paste text message, and that's it.
Pretty seamless.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, unless there's an issue, which I always just leave my phone number just in case, right? They can give me a call if they have any problems. But honestly, like for the most part, like set it and forget it. I send the copy paste message and then I get an email saying you've been paid, $20 for your booking.
Wow. So what would you say is your favorite part of owning a simulator and then also renting it out to other people?
A favorite part of owning a simulator is just being able to play like whenever, right? So like when the kids go down, it's nice to go out and hit a few shots early in the morning, or just, you can kind of sneak in whenever and get a few shots. At 15, 20 minutes, you can fire it up and mess around. And the best thing about hosting is just the income that's coming in, right? The sim is there, and I would love to be in it all the time, but I can't, and it just sits there. All right. So like I might as well let other people check it out and play on it, and I make a little extra cash.
Is there one thing that you wish that you knew that you do before building a simulator that you do differently if you were to do it all over?
Yeah, if I were to build the sim and do it all over, I would make it just a little bit bigger to accommodate a few more people. And I would get a different projector. A high-end quality projector makes gameplay just even that much better.
So you're saying a projector is worth the money. Is there anything else in a simulator that you'd say is worth spending extra money on?
Yeah, so I think the projector absolutely, and then obviously like your launch monitor is probably going to be your next most expensive or the most expensive. Finding a good quality launch monitor that doesn't break the bank, right? And I think the Pro T is absolutely phenomenal. That's I think the best bang for your buck. It's an overhead launch monitor, and again, if I were to do it over, I would get a different projector and I would go with the Pro T instead of a ground-based launch monitor.
I see. So let's say that I'm someone who's interested in either building a simulator or having a company deliver a pre-built simulator to my home. What kind of person should absolutely do this? What person should have a simulator and then list it on something like ParSims?
I mean, honestly, anybody who loves golf, is addicted to golf, and has the space for it. Like, you can honestly get a high quality setup for, I guess, like 15, 20 grand, and most of them have finance options, right? And so if you have the space for it and you love golf, go for it. Get the simulator and let somebody else pay for it.
So how much extra space do you realistically need in your house or your backyard or your shed or your basement?
Yeah, so you got to have 10-foot ceilings. I recommend if it's in a shed, it's at least 16 by 20. Yeah, in your house as well. I mean, you probably need like a 16 by 20 room, 10-foot ceilings. And then, yeah, I mean, that's all you need to get it going.
Has owning a golf simulator changed how much you golf?
Definitely. Yeah, I golf way more. I mean, obviously, not as much on the course. I wouldn't say it has changed that much on the course. I still golf about the same on the course, but the amount of practice I get in and the number of swings I get in, absolutely.
What about in terms of like making you a better golfer?
Definitely. Yeah. So the data and the feedback that you can get immediately. I've been golfing long enough that I feel like I can kind of know what happens when I'm at the range or when I'm on the course. But seeing it as a visual learner, seeing where my club is impacting the golf ball and like what my club path is, and then, how far everything is going and smash factor and spin and all that, it just helps you be a better player.
And this idea of listing it on ParSims is just like so fascinating to me that you can literally list your simulator and have people rent it out and help basically pay for the cost of your simulator. Has listing it on ParSims, has that been able to make it easier to justify the cost of this, like to your spouse?
Definitely. Yeah, it's nice to be like, hey, look, I dropped 12 grand on a sim, but I've already made, $8,000 in the last 18 months. So it's kind of paying for itself.
Not too bad.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. What about your friends? What are your friends saying when they come check out the simulator? What do people think about it?
They love it. They all just want to come use it for free, and I just tell them go to ParSims. No, it's good. I like to have my buddies over. We'll play rounds, and like the software that I use, like we can do like scrambles, and we can do 2v2 and do like best ball and match play and all sorts of fun different games. And yeah, it's a good time.
What is something that nobody really talks about playing on a simulator that's just so awesome and that you wish more people understood?
I think that like it gets knocked because it's not like real golf, but I play like there's so many famous courses and courses around the world that I probably will never get to play that I get to experience on a simulator. I mean, obviously, no, it's not like real golf, but like, I mean, I get to play all across the world, right? Like I've played golf on all 6 continents just from my shed, right? Like that's something that I don't know if I'll ever be able to golf on all 6 continents, but I have on a simulator.
Yeah. And when people hear that you're making your money renting your simulator, what's their first reaction?
A lot of times they don't believe me. They're like, there's no way. It's like, no, yeah, this is really a thing. And then typically their next thought is, I should probably get a simulator.
So what are the questions that people ask you the most when they find out that you're doing this?
So honestly, strangers, right? People are like, oh, like you're renting your sim, like everybody destroys it, right? And it's like, no, nobody destroys it. And then it's usually like you know, how can I get one, and how much does it, what does it cost, and what's it like being a host on ParSims, and they all, they want one for themselves because it makes sense, right? They can have one for themselves and rent it out and let it pay for itself.
So if someone is on the fence about building a simulator, what advice would you give them?
I would say go for it and plan it in a way that makes sense for you to rent it out. Obviously, not everybody can have a shed in their backyard or a big old garage or shop. But even if it's in your basement, like if you have, an external entrance, with a keypad or whatever, like if you're planning to sim, try to make it in a place that you can rent it out and let it pay for itself.
Is there anything that I didn't ask that people should know if they're wanting to get into this space and build a simulator and rent it out?
I mean, I don't think so. I think if you do build the sim and rent it out, it's important to be a good host. I make it sound, simple and easy, and it is, but there are definitely things that like will make people start coming back. A simple addition is like a mini fridge with complimentary waters, right? Really solid instructions on how to like get into everything. Being available is important. Like if they need you, something broken or whatever, just being available to troubleshoot.
Climate control?
Yes, absolutely. 100% climate control. If you're building a sim, put a mini split in. You have to have heat and AC. Otherwise, it's going to be super uncomfortable, even for you to play in. And if you have climate control, it's obviously easier to rent out.
Well, what a cool side business, what a cool side hustle to have to build your own golf simulator, be able to plan it whenever you want, and then also be able to rent it out. So if people are interested in building their own golf simulator and kind of renting it out as well, where should they go? What should they do?
I would go to ParSims. I think they're doing a new thing with like golf sheds as well. But yeah, go to ParSims, contact any of the guys over there, and they'll be able to hook you up and help you out.
Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.